They're both open-class Japanese transverse inline 4-barrel standard bicycles, a couple of cruisers that have taken after that supernaturally appointed universality since Saint Soichiro conveyed the street bike tablets down from Mount Fuji about 50 years back. One of them needs to transport all of you the route back to remember that period. Alternate needs to take you back just 10 years with its 2005 GSX-R inferred long-stroke motor. Numerous moper users, and some Mo authors, have officially swore their undying adoration for the Kawasaki Z900RS, and every one of us concur the Suzuki GSX S1000Z is an expert. Actually, if drive is your gauge, the Suzuki covers the retro Kawasaki, yet you need to work for it more. Our inquiry turns out to be, at that point, exactly what amount of execution would you say you are surrendering on the off chance that you go retro, and is it justified, despite all the trouble in reality? Sitting by each other, the Suzuki GSX S1000Z and Kawasaki Z900RS may outwardly appear like two altogether different bicycles. And keeping in mind that their novel appearances surely separate them, a glance at the bicycle's spec sheets reveals to us they're not as divergent as one may think. They're both liter bicycles. Well, the Z900RS engine uproots 948cc, yet to keep the conversation going we'll round up. 948cc is more than bounty for street ability, all things considered. They're both evaluated at $11,000. Our root beer Koi is $200 more. They both have transformed front finishes raked at 25 degrees, 3.9 inches trail for the Suzuki, 3.5 inches for the Koi, with radially mounted brakes, 4.5-gallon fuel tanks, a weight contrast of only 10 pounds, and they're both an impact to ride. The two bicycles have additionally been blamed for having not as much as perfect filling issues, which places them in almost the same situation. Bouncing off the RS and getting on the GSX-S, I instantly saw the sportier ergonomics of the Suzuki. The foot pegs are higher, the bars are a little lower, additionally forward and furthermore smaller contrasted with the tall, wide and more casual rider triangle of the RS. Does this mean you can ride or push the Suzuki harder than the Koi? Sort of. The two engines have awesome character and force hard. The Z900RS closes down somewhat sooner than the GSX S1000Z, however the Koi's mid-range is truly punchy, contrasted with the rear top-end hit of the ZUK. The Suzuki's mid-range is nothing to scoff at, however the upper revs are the place the GSX-S begins to pull far from the RS, in straight-line applications. It's in the corners where the GSX-S genuinely has a leg up, play on words proposed, on the Z900RS, yet not in light of its drive-favorable position. Truth be told, on the off chance that you didn't have the dyno diagrams to take a gander at, you wouldn't generally know there was such a disparity in the torque division. On the off chance that speed is your thing and you live in Kansas, or just ride at the drag strip, the Suzuki is your bike. Its 134 drive covers the Kawasaki's 97, yet the Kawasaki achieves its top at only 8,600 revolutions per minute to the Suzuki's 10,200 revolutions per minute. Around the local area, and on the tight surprising streets we like best, it's about the torque. All things considered, the Suzuki makes more torque as well, however its 72.5 feet-to-pound doesn't occur till 9,300 revolutions per minute. In the meantime, the Kawasaki's making its crest at 6,500 revolutions per minute, right where the Suzuki's torque bend is all inward. That 5 to 8,000 revolutions per minute extend is the thing that we utilize most on our most loved streets. The Suzuki basically can't abuse its pull favorable position until the point when the street truly opens up, or the rider just shouts its motor the entire time, which as a rule feels like excessively work and causes excessively drivetrain or key jerky. The smooth linearity of the Kawasaki's motor additionally influences it to feel more effective than it is. The Kawasaki's more casual, bring-down foot pegs come into contact with the ground much sooner than the Suzuki's, and that is extremely the main place where I feel the GSX-S genuinely outsports the RS. The Suzuki's suspension is additionally firmer than the Koi's, which enables you to rail turns with exactness. Our terrible, in any case, that we didn't upset the Kawasaki's clickers or back preload to battle this, as we just didn't have the apparatuses helpful. We didn't see the back preload was almost the distance delicate until the point when we were over the peak. Wrenching in preload would have shielded the pegs from scratching so much, and revived the directing. I was as yet ready to ride the RS with a lot of fierceness to keep aggressive with the marginally sportier Suzuki. Dialing in the RS suspension and introducing higher rear sets would essentially take out any preferred standpoint the GSX has in the turns. Genuine that. Talking about foot pegs, they too characterize parts. The Kawasaki has fat elastic ones from the Dr. Scholl's inventory, the Suzuki gets indecent knurled aluminum ones and anodized dark. The Kawa's pegs supplement its more casual ergos, and when the street gets tight, it's those ergos and its milder springing that keep the Kawasaki from progressing from side to side very as fast as the Suzuki. In any case, you need to dial the animosity level up to around 8 proceeding there's anything in it by any stretch of the imagination. Before our days over when we were feeling our oats, I could stay aware of Brent in the event that he was on the Kawasaki, yet he pulls step by step far from me when he was on the Suzuki, riding further into the corners with the brakes on, tossing the Suzuki all the more discourteously and more distant onto its side, shouting it all the more frequently or rigging lower. The Suzuki's great gearbox makes simple work of that, however higher RPM worsens its slight stain on the gas suddenness.